Good evening, students. So, good evening, all of you. So, welcome to Unacademy EAMCET YouTube channel. So, myself, Dr.Rajendra Prasad, biology educator on Unacademy EAMCET platform, students, and I have been teaching biology to medical aspirants from last 13 years, students. So, in today's class, we'll be discussing about the lesson that is in biomolecules. In biomolecules, we'll be discussing about the few concepts about the topic that is carbohydrates. So, before starting the class, as usual, I would like to introduce about our Unacademy Plus subscription students. So, Unacademy Plus is for students who subscribe to our courses. So, it is for the students who subscribe to our courses, students. So, that is called Unacademy Plus. So, let us see what is the benefits of this by taking Unacademy Plus subscription and what is the benefits of subscribing to our courses. Let us see those benefits. So, premium content will be available at affordable price. So, premium content, structured live courses and dedicated live .in sessions are taking place. Quizzes are conducted at regular intervals by the educated students. So batches for complete preparations, test series for daily practice papers, full length mock tests. So these all you can get by taking the subscription for Unacademy Plus. So these all you can get for a single subscription of amount of a 1 month trial plan costing around 2,250 rupees, students. So if you are interested, you can use my code Rajendra and purchase this course for 1 month trial plan of 2,250 rupees, students. So there is one batch already has launched, that is called Telugu batch. In this Telugu batch, all the educators here, they are taking classes in Telugu language. So they take classes in Telugu language. So what is benefit of taking the class in Telugu language is detailed explanation in Telugu. So detailed explanation will be given in Telugu. So that is helpful for them. Then complete syllabus coverage. So complete syllabus coverage will be taking place. So learners. So tips and tricks also can be tips and tricks will be given by educators to the learner students actually. So there is already one batch is going on, that is called comprehensive batch. In that I am taking biology classes, Sir is taking physics and Sir is taking chemistry. And what is the importance of this batch? That is called comprehensive batch is complete syllabus will be covered, tips and tricks will be given by educators, topic wise practice papers, full length mock test. So this all you can get by a 1 month plan, that is around 2,250 rupees, students. If you are interested, you can use my code Rajendra and purchase this course for 1 month plan of 2,250 rupees. So this is about comprehensive batch 1 month plan. Then there are the best long term plans available, students. That is 6 months plan costing around a very less amount of 10,125 rupees and 12 months plan. So 12 months plan costing around 12,375 rupees. It is a very least amount. So 12 months plan costing around 12,375 rupees and 6 months plan costing around 10,125 rupees. So very less amount they are charging. So you can use my code Rajendra to purchase this 6 months plan for 10,125 rupees and 12 months plan for 12,375 rupees. So that is about the Unacademy Plus subscription, students. So let us see about the today's topic on carbohydrates. So the topic, the lesson which we are discussing is biomolecules. In biomolecules, we will be discussing about the carbohydrates. So before going into the carbohydrates, let us discuss something in detail. So first of all, let us see what is biomolecules. So how do we define the biomolecules actually? So how do we define biomolecules? Actually? So biomolecules, so it is a branch of biology that deals with involves the study of, so biomolecules primarily involves the study of organic compounds. So biomolecules, it is a branch of biology, so it deals with study of primarily with the organic compounds. So it primarily deals with the study of organic compounds, and especially it primarily deals with study of organic compounds. In some books they write that the biomolecules involves not only study of organic compounds, it also involves some study of inorganic compounds also will be mentioned in some textbooks. But actually the biomolecules, so it is a part of the branch of biology, that is biochemistry. Actually it is a part of biochemistry. So in these biomolecules, so we will study about the organic compounds. So the biomolecules involves the study of the organic compounds. It is a branch of biology that involves the study of organic compounds, is called as a biomolecules. So then what are these different types of organic compounds? So what are the different types of organic compounds, whether it is in the plants or animals? If you say, so let us say what are the inorganic compounds, what are the organic compounds? So before going to that, if you see the composition of a plant cell, so if you see the composition of a plant cell, if you see the composition of a plant cell, in a plant cell, if you take a composition of a plant cell, so major composition of plant cell is no doubt it is water. So in water is, it may generally range from 70 to 85%. So there is an exceptional case where you know that watermelon. So watermelon is also having the water of about 92%. So apart from the water, we have organic compounds, and as well as inorganic compounds actually. So like this, simply we are just simply we are defining the composition of plant cell in three different components, that is water, organic compounds and inorganic compounds. These are the major chief compositions. So water, organic compounds and inorganic compounds. So we know that. So water we know that. So let us see what are different types of organic compounds. If you see different types of organic compounds, different types of organic compounds includes carbohydrates. So it includes carbohydrates. So then proteins. So we know that proteins. So proteins also includes the compounds like amino acids. So carbohydrates, proteins, then lipids or fats. So lipids or fat, what are maybe. So different organic compounds like carbohydrates, proteins, fats, then nucleic acids. So these are the different types of organic compounds. What are the different types of organic compounds? Means it includes carbohydrates, proteins, lipids and nucleic acids. So these are the different types of organic compounds. So in a plant cell or in animal cell, it contains majorly, the cell contains water. Apart from our water, we have organic compounds. So now we have seen what are different types of organic compounds. So organic compounds includes carbohydrates, proteins, amino acids, so lipids or fats and nucleic acids. So these are the different types of organic compounds. Then if you see inorganic compounds, if you see similarly we are discussing here like inorganic compounds. So inorganic compounds. So inorganic compounds. So inorganic compounds especially involves like macronutrients as well as micronutrients. So they are present in less than 1%. So they includes macronutrients and micronutrients, and they are of including their contribution is very less, and this inorganic compounds contribution is very less. It is less than 1% actually. It is less than 1% or 1% also. So like this. So what is a biomolecule? So biomolecules involves the study of organic compounds. So different types of organic compounds present in the plant or animal cell includes like carbohydrates, proteins, lipids and nucleic acids. So these are the different types of organic compounds. So there are inorganic compounds are also present in the plant cell. The inorganic compounds includes, it can be macronutrients like carbon, nitrogen, hydrogen and oxygen, so calcium. So these are macronutrients which are present in little bit abundant amount. Similarly the micronutrients, nutrients which are present in very least amount, so like zinc, cobalt, nickel, cadmium, mercury. So these all are like that. What are maybe these are considered as a micronutrients which are present in very least quantity. So biomolecules, once again, if you see how do we define biomolecules, means it involves the study of organic compounds. So what are different types of organic compounds? It includes study of which type of organic compounds. It includes study of organic compounds like carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, nucleic acids, and also includes inorganic compounds like macronutrients as well as micronutrients. So like this is about the different type composition of a cell. If you take plant cell, the composition of plant cell includes water, organic compounds and inorganic compounds. So we have seen water, different types of organic compounds. We also have seen inorganic compounds. But what is important thing which you should remember here is the amount of inorganic matter present is of very least amount. They are present in the least amount. So like this anyhow, so biomolecules involve study of organic compounds. In that we have seen that organic compounds includes like carbohydrates, proteins, amino acids, lipids, nucleic acids. So first we'll discuss something about this carbohydrates. So let us see something about carbohydrates. So these are carbohydrates, these are present abundant. So these are present, carbohydrates are present abundant in the plant cells. So they are present in abundant amount in the plant cells. So if you see the plant cells, so these carbohydrates are present in abundant amount in case of the plant cells. They are present in a very highest amount in case of the plant cell. So how these carbohydrates? So these are present in abundant amount in plant cell. So if you see how do these carbohydrates are classified, let us see how these carbohydrates are classified. So carbohydrates. So carbohydrates are also called as sugars. So how these carbohydrates are classified? Let us see how they are classified. So if you see carbohydrates are classified based on number of sugars present. They are classified into carbohydrates are classified into monosaccharides. So they are classified into monosaccharides, then disaccharides, trisaccharides, and polysaccharides. So these carbohydrates, if you see carbohydrates, let us see how the carbohydrates are classified. So carbohydrates, so the carbohydrates are also called as sugars. So these carbohydrates, so carbohydrates are sugars. So carbohydrates are also called as sugars. So carbohydrates are called as sugars. So carbohydrates are classified. So carbohydrates are classified. So how they are classified? So carbohydrates are classified based on, so carbohydrates are classified based on number of sugars, based upon the number of sugars present in the carbohydrate. So if the particular carbohydrate has one sugar, if carbohydrate is made up of only one sugar, if carbohydrate is made up of only one sugar, it is called as a monosaccharide. So that particular saccharide means sugar, so it is having only one sugar. So that saccharide, so once again the term saccharide, if you see, so term saccharide means sugar. So term saccharide means it is called as sugar. So the carbohydrate with one sugar is called as a monosaccharide. So if the particular carbohydrate is having only one saccharide, it is called as a sugar. Then if carbohydrate is having two sugars, if the particular carbohydrate is having the two sugars, if it is having the two sugars, carbohydrate is having two sugars, and such condition is called as a disaccharides. So that particular carbohydrate with the two sugars is called as a disaccharides. And if the carbohydrate is having three sugars, if it is having three sugars, then it is called as a trisaccharide. The particular carbohydrate is made up of three sugars, then it is called as a trisaccharide. So if you take polysaccharide, term itself is telling you poly. So poly means many. So sugar, the carbohydrate. So carbohydrate made up of multiple number. So made up of multiple. So they are made up of multiple number of sugars. So carbohydrate made up of multiple number of sugars. When carbohydrate is made up of multiple number of sugars, such type of sugars are called as a polysaccharide. So like that, these carbohydrates are classified into monosaccharide, disaccharide, trisaccharide, polysaccharide. So what is monosaccharide? The particular carbohydrate has only one sugar molecule. It is called monosaccharide. Disaccharide is made up of two sugar molecules. Trisaccharide is made up of three sugar molecules. So polysaccharide made up of multiple sugars. So let us see something about, first we will discuss about monosaccharide. So just now we are discussing monosaccharide means it is the carbohydrate. So no, it is once again the same thing. So carbohydrate made up of one sugar. So carbohydrate is made up of only one sugar. That is called as a monosaccharide. It is called as a monosaccharide. So again, this monosaccharide is further classified into different types based upon the number of carbons present. So monosaccharide is again further classified. Let us see how they are classified. So this monosaccharide, if you see this monosaccharide, so monosaccharide is further classified into different types. So let's see how it is classified into different types. So monosaccharide, if you see this monosaccharide, it is classified into different types. Monosaccharide, it is classified into different types like triose. It is called as a triose, tetrose, pentose, hexose. So triose, tetrose, pentose, hexose, and similarly we have the last one that is called as a heptose. So let us see what is this triose, what is this tetrose. So monosaccharides are classified into different types. First one is called as a triose. So that particular monosaccharide, if you see triose, so triose, the particular sugar, the single sugar is present, that is called monosaccharide, and that particular sugar made up of 3 carbon. If the sugar is made up of 3 carbon, then it is called as a triose. If the sugar is made up of 4 carbon, it is called as a tetrose. If the sugar is made up of 5 carbon, it is called as a pentose. So if the sugar is made up of 6 carbon compound, it is called as hexose. If the sugar is made up of 7 carbon, that is called as a heptose. So once again, if you see monosaccharide, so what is this monosaccharide? It is a carbohydrate having only one sugar. It is called made up of one sugar. That is called as monosaccharide. This monosaccharide is further classified into different types. How it is classified into different types? It is classified into different types based on number of carbons, based upon number of carbons present, on the sugar molecule. So triose, it is classified into triose, it is classified into tetrose, pentose, hexose, heptose. So let us see what is this triose. So let us see first one, that is called as a triose. So we see triose. So it is a sugar, it is a monosaccharide. So how do we define triose? It is a monosaccharide. So monosaccharide made up of single. So it is a monosaccharide made up of 3 carbon. So for example, best example of triose is the glyceraldehyde. So glyceraldehyde is the best example of triose. A monosaccharide with 3 carbon compound is glyceraldehyde. So if you see the structure of glyceraldehyde, you can see here, now this is the glyceraldehyde. It is having aldehyde group, and so now this is the typical structure of a glyceraldehyde. So you have 1 carbon, 2, 3. So you can see 3 carbons are present in this particular glyceraldehyde. So you can clearly see 3 carbons are present in this skeleton. So like this. So this is a glyceraldehyde, is a carbohydrate, and this carbohydrate is made up of only one sugar, and this particular sugar has 3 carbon compounds. It is a 3 carbon, that is called as a glyceraldehyde. Similarly, there is one more example of triose, that is dihydroxyacetone. Now another example is also the dihydroxyacetone. So if you see this dihydroxyacetone, it is also 3 carbon compound. So now this is the dihydroxyacetone. So it is having ketone group. Here you can see this having ketone group. Here this is having aldehyde group actually. So anyhow, so like this triose. So what is a triose means? It is a monosaccharide made up of 3 carbon compound that is called as a triose. So glyceraldehyde is the best example having 3 carbon compound. Then let's see about tetrose. So there is one more example. See the next one, tetrose. So it is a monosaccharide. So how do we define tetrose? It is a monosaccharide. So monosaccharide with 4 carbon. Monosaccharide with 4 carbon, that is called as a tetrose. So best example, erythrose. So erythrose is the best example, that is erythrose. So if you see the erythrose, so if you see the erythrose, it is also okay. So erythrose, if you see erythrose, it will be also having a 4 carbon compound. So this is the typical structure of erythrose. So you can see here 4 carbons are present. So this is 1 carbon, 2, 3 and 4. So like this. So this erythrose, what is the importance of this erythrose? If you see what is this importance of erythrose, it is involved in formation of anthocyanin pigments. It is involved in formation of anthocyanin pigments. It is involved in formation of anthocyanin pigments, which gives which gives color. So which gives color actually. This anthocyanin pigments gives color actually. So that is about the tetrose. Now let's see another one. So another one is called as a pentose. So what is pentose? It is the monosaccharide. So pentose is a monosaccharide with 5 carbon. So monosaccharide with 5 carbon. So monosaccharide with 5 carbon, that is called as a pentose. So monosaccharide with 5 carbon. So monosaccharide with 5 carbon is called as a pentose. If you see this monosaccharide with 5 carbon, so best example of monosaccharide with 5 carbon is ribose. So ribose. So if you see this structure, so it is a linear structure which I am drawing here of ribose. So it appears like this linear structure. So it is having 5 carbon, so like this. Now this is the ribose. Now this is typical structure of ribose. So this ribose, what is the importance of this ribose? So ribose is present in genetic material. It is a part of genetic material. So it is a part of genetic material like DNA. In DNA it is present. In DNA ribose is present in the form of deoxyribose. So ribose is present in DNA as a deoxyribose. It is also present in RNA. So it is also present in RNA as ribose. So we already know that DNA means deoxyribose nucleic acid. So in DNA it is present as a deoxyribose, whereas in RNA it is present as a ribose. So this is ribose sugar. So what is the importance of ribose? Ribose is a pentose. So it is a monosaccharide having 5 carbon compound. Monosaccharide with 5 carbon compound is called as a pentose. So best example of the pentose is ribose. So ribose is a part of genetic material, that is DNA as well as RNA. So it is in DNA it is present, ribose is present in the form of deoxyribose, whereas in RNA it is present in the form of ribose. So similarly we have another pentose that is called as ribulose. So there is another one is called as a ribulose. So what is the importance of this ribulose if you see? So ribulose, it is playing an important role. It is involved in the enzyme, that is enzyme for photosynthesis. The enzyme is called as rubisco. So we know that rubisco is the primary enzyme. So it is the primary enzyme in photosynthesis. Rubisco is the primary enzyme in photosynthesis. It is the primary enzyme in photosynthesis. So if you see full form of rubisco, it is ribulose 1,5 bis phosphate or biphosphate, you can tell bisphosphate or biphosphate, carboxylase oxygenase. That is the full form of Rubisco. So students, so what you have to remember here is, so Rubisco is another pentose. Rubisco is the another pentose. Rubisco is another pentose. Rubisco. So what is the importance of ribulose? Ribulose is another pentose. What is the importance of ribulose? It is involved in the enzyme. So what is the name of the enzyme? It is called as the Rubisco. Rubisco is the primary enzyme in photosynthesis. If you see the full form of Rubisco, it is known as ribulose 1,5-biphosphate carboxylase and oxygenase. Ribulose 1,5-biphosphate carboxylase and oxygenase. This is the full form. So expanded form of the ribulose. Rubisco is ribulose 1,5-biphosphate carboxylase oxygenase. So Rubisco is having a dual, it is a dual enzyme. Rubisco, if you see what is the importance of Rubisco is, so Rubisco is a dual enzyme. Rubisco. So it is a dual enzyme. So why we call it as a dual enzyme means it has two enzymatic activities. If you see what is the enzymatic activity is having, it is having carboxylase activity. It is also having oxygenase activity. It is also having the oxygenase. So it is a dual enzyme. So like this, anyhow, so pentose. So pentose best examples we were discussing is about ribose, and another best example is ribulose. So ribose is part of genetic material like DNA as well as RNA, whereas this Rubisco, so ribulose is a part of the ribulose is a part of the enzyme Rubisco. So that is about the pentose. Now let us see something about hexose. So if you see hexose if you see, so it is monosaccharide that is made up of 6 carbons. So for the best example, we know that glucose is the best example. So everybody knows from the lower classes we study the glucose C6, H12, O6. This is the molecular formula of glucose. It is also made up of 6 carbons, glucose and fructose. So it is also having same molecular formula, C6, H12, O6. So these are the best examples, glucose. These are the best examples of hexoses. So if you see the structure of glucose, this is the typical structure of glucose. So linear structure. So this is a typical structure of glucose. This glucose is having aldehyde group. So glucose, so we know that about glucose. So glucose is present in the blood. So glucose is also called as a blood sugar. So we consume glucose when person is having not energy. We consume glucose. So glucose we consume in the form of glucose D. It is called as a corn sugar. So glucose is also called as a corn sugar. So X amount of glucose in the body. So we already know that X amount of glucose present in the body is stored in the form of glycogen. If it is in case of plants, X amount of glucose is stored in the form of the starch. So like that, the glucose is made up of glucose is a major thing. So in photosynthesis also glucose is synthesized by the plants. So glucose in humans, it is called blood sugar. So it is also called as a corn sugar. So glucose is also called as a corn sugar. So diabetes, X amount of glucose. If person has X amount of glucose in the blood, so it leads to a condition that is called diabetes. So glucose in the blood is regulated by enzymes. So it is regulated by the enzymes like insulin and glucagon, so they regulate the glucose. So like that, so glucose. So then fructose is called as a fruit sugar. So fructose is also called as a fruit sugar. It is present in the fruits like grapes. So it is called as a fruit sugar. So what is the difference between fructose and glucose is, fructose is having the ketone group, glucose is having the aldehyde group. So this is about today's class, students, and again in tomorrow's class we will discuss few more things about the carbohydrates and then we will continue with the next topic. So this is the end of today's session, students. So we will see in tomorrow's session. So before ending this session, so I would like to once again introduce about our Unacademy Plus subscription. So Unacademy Plus subscription students, 6 months plan is the best plan students I suggest you to take, and 12 months plan is another best plan. 6 months plan costing very less amount, 10,124 rupees. Similarly, the 12 months plan also costing very less amount students. I suggest you to take this 12 months plan which is costing around 12,375 rupees, and 6 months plan which is costing around 10,125 rupees. So if you are interested to purchase the 6 months plan of 10,125 rupees and 12 months plan of 12,375 rupees, so use my code Rajendra Live so that you can purchase the 6 months plan for 10,125 rupees and 12 months plan for 12,375 rupees. So that is how the today's class regarding the carbohydrates. We'll see in the next class with another topic. So thank you students.